Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a drugstore everyday makeup look. So this is going to be my everyday makeup look. This is like how I do it pretty much every single day. If I have to put makeup on, sometimes I like tone it down, sometimes I like build it up. It's pretty versatile. This is just going to be the updated version and I'm going to be using all affordable products. Not everything is drugstore, but the majority of it is, and anything that isn't drugstore is super affordable. So I'm gonna start off by priming my face. The only thing is I don't have any drugstore. I was looking around my room and I couldn't find anything that was drugstore. So I'm gonna use MAC Fix Plus. That's what I'm going to use to hydrate my face and prep and everything. And the reason that I'm using MAC Fix Plus is because my skin has just been like really dehydrated and I have a bunch of like breakouts and everything. So I wanna make sure that it's super hydrated. A good drugstore alternative is the NYX Dewy Setting Spray. And if you have oily skin, you might wanna use the matte one. So I'm just gonna let this marinate a little bit. I also use the Tarte Ready Set Radiant Mist. Anything hydrating. All right, so for foundation, I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is in the shade 128. This is the one that I use when I have a tan. I'm gonna be using a beauty blender, but a great alternative is the Real Techniques makeup sponge. It's like $7 and you can get it at Ulta, and I'm pretty sure you can get it at Target as well. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this. I'm gonna do a very, very light layer of foundation, just basically color correcting, evening out my skin tone. As I say that, I just like poured it all over the beauty blender. And then sometimes I like to spritz the sponge with my setting spray just to kind of sheer it out. So I'm not looking for intense coverage with this. I have a bunch of breakouts that I'm going to conceal separately later on. I just want to make sure that I'm, you know, doing light coverage and just evening out my skin tone. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is in the shade Neutralizer. This one is a little bit more yellowy. I haven't used this in such a long time. This is a good drugstore alternative to the Tarte Shape Tape. It's not as good, but I'm just going to use this to highlight and conceal. And it kind of looks like I'm putting on a lot, but this concealer is pretty sheer compared to my Tarte Shape Tape. And then I'm gonna take whatever is left on that sponge and just use it to neutralize and prime my lids. I'm gonna do my brows really quickly off camera because I just uploaded my updated brow routine. That's not going to change. If anyone knows of drugstore brow products that are bomb, please let me know because I've never been able to find one. The closest I've gotten is the Tony Moly brow pencil, which I don't think you can get in the drugstore, but it is cheap, and the Kiss Top Brow Cream, I believe it's called, and that's around, they're both around $7, I think. But I don't think either of them are available in the drugstore. You have to get them online, but they are drugstore prices. All right, for bronzer, I'm gonna be using this Cushion Contour by Wet n Wild. I had to switch over to voiceover because they started doing loud construction outside really quick. But I'm just basically gonna be using this to warm up my face. I'm not gonna be going in with too much. It's a pretty lightweight product. And this is a really good drugstore option if you're looking for a cream bronzer. So before I go in with my setting powder, I'm going to just layer a little bit more concealer underneath my eyes. I always do this because I have really dark circles and my eyes are kind of sunken, so that's where I need the most brightening. You don't have to do this, especially if you're doing like a regular daytime look. It's just like something I have to do. So if you have like beautiful under eyes, don't worry about it. You don't even need to set it if you want it to look really, really natural. I can't do that though. But I'm just gonna focus it along the side of my nose and directly underneath. So I'm just layering more there. And I'm going to set with my e.l.f. blush brush. All right, I have some breakouts that they did seem to be pretty bad, but I don't know, they're covered up like pretty decent. You can't really see them that badly. So for everyday makeup, I really don't do that much concealing. So I'm just gonna take this powder and set my T-zone, just a light amount. And then I get darkness around my mouth, so I like to kind of brighten that up. These powders are really great because they're loose finishing powder, so they're not like super opaque or anything. It's not like a foundation powder, but they have a bunch of different shades, so you can pick the shade that you want depending on your skin tone, which is really great. I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that powder and set my lids for shadow. I'm not really gonna do much shadow, but so our base is looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna go in with a little light contour. I don't know what to use though. So I'm gonna use the NYX Contouring Palette, and I'm gonna be going in with this shade right here just because it's like the most olive looking out of all of them. And I'm just gonna be using my Wet n Wild highlighting brush to do my contour. So I'm picking up the smallest amount of product and I'm just adding like a tiny bit in the hollows of my cheek, just a tiny bit, just to add like a little bit of definition. You don't even need to do this. Some days I don't. Some days All right, and to contour my nose, I'm gonna use that same shade, and I'm gonna be using my Morphe Y18 brush. I raved about this brush in my whatever video that was, my brushes video. I'm not gonna do anything too intense. I just wanna I wanna define it a little bit. I can get lost with all this highlighting that I do. If I put down way too much, I like to just kind of like place it, and then I'll wipe off my brush and go back in and blend, because this is way too much. Everybody keeps commenting on my video and saying that I look like Nicole Richie. I get that all the time. I just like weigh twice the amount of her, I think. So I just wiped off my brush and now I'm going in and blending. Again, this is something that you don't even need to do for like everyday makeup, but my nose contour is kind of my security blanket. Highlighting along my nose and underneath my eyes, and then my nose contour. Like I can't not do it. Okay, so for my eyes, I basically just use my contour shade or my bronze shade, anything, just like whatever you use. I like to kind of keep it as simple as possible. So whatever palette I've been using for my face, I like to use as my eyeshadow. So I'm gonna pick up that same contour shade. I'm gonna be using the Morphe Y15. This is just a really thick version of the Morphe Y19 brush. So it just kind of like covers more ground. I'm just gonna cover the whole dome of it, go right into my crease and blend, and then kind of like drag it down onto my lid. So I focus it in the crease, but I'm using one color. So I'm kind of just like shading in the crease and then bringing it down onto the lid, like blending that color out so it's not super obvious that I have a shadow on. It's kind of just like a general wash all over. I'm gonna pick up my City Color CCB 103 brush and do the lower lash line. So same thing, just a light wash along my lash line. All right, for blush, I'm gonna be going in with my trusty L'Oreal True Match blush in the shade Precious Peach. Favorite blush. Drugstore, fantastic. If I had to choose one blush to use for the rest of my life, it would be this one, definitely. And I don't know what brush to use because a lot of them are dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Marc Jacobs blush brush, but honestly, the one that I was just using to do my under eye, the e.l.f. blush brush. It's a good brush. Real Techniques has good blush brushes. Sonia Kashuk has really good brushes. So there's a lot more drugstore options than there were. I just don't have a lot of them. All right, for highlight, I'm gonna try Colourpop. Again, this isn't drugstore, but it's super affordable. And I'm just interested in trying this one because I just received them and I've never tried Colourpop highlighters, but I've heard good things. So this is in the shade, it doesn't have a shade on it. Yeah, so I don't know what shade this is. It's like a pretty champagne though, like a light champagne. It's pretty close to my skin tone. It's not like really, really light or anything. I don't know, looks like it might be nice. Another really good, you know what, NYX actually does have really good highlighters. So if you're looking for a good drugstore option, NYX has good ones. But other than that, Revolution, Make It Revolution, is that what I'm thinking of? I don't really know that many drugstore highlighters. So actually, if you know some, let me know in the comments down below. So I'm just gonna pick this up on my Morphe brush, my Morphe R36 highlighting brush, and just kind of go to town. Ooh, that's really nice actually. Oh, that's a pretty color. It's nice and natural. So when I do like a natural look, I just kind of like use this to take it all over, or like an everyday look, because I don't have time to be switching around brushes. So I just kind of like bring it up onto the temple. Oh man, that's actually way more intense than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, the only thing that I do differently for the center of my face is I grab my, where'd it go? For the center of my face, I like to grab my M507. This is a Morphe brush, it's just like a little concentrated blending brush. And that's what I like highlight the tip of my nose. You could just use your finger. I just like it to be a little bit smaller, a little more precise since I have a crooked nose. And then I'm just gonna pop that in the inner corner. Super simple. That's a nice highlighter though. When I swatched it, it didn't seem like it was gonna be very nice. But yeah, it's way more intense than I thought it was gonna be. All right, I'm gonna do lips really quickly before I finish off my eyes. So for my lips, I like to keep it very simple. I like to line them with a lip liner just to give them some definition, and I like to overline my lips. You don't have to do that. I mean, you could just put on some like lip balm and be done. But I'm gonna use the Nude Beige Lip Pencil by NYX. This is my absolute favorite nude lip pencil of all time. And it just works. It just works as like a natural look. So I usually do like kind of a sloppy lining, and then I just kind of blend it out with my finger. Just to soften up the edge and make it look a little bit less like obvious. All right, to finish off the lips, I usually just go in with a little bit of lip balm. I'm actually gonna try the Over the Top gloss. This is DesixKaty's collection with Dose of Colors, just because I've been really liking it because of the reflect, but I usually just use like any lip balm, like whatever lip balm I have lying around. So you can use anything, like Burt's Bees, it doesn't matter. But I'm just gonna pop that in the center of the lips and then blend it out on my fingers. So I don't want my lips to be glossy, but I want them to look healthy. So they're nice and like you know, they have like a nice hydration, a little bit of reflect. It's pretty, but again, you don't have to use a lip gloss. And other lip glosses, NYX has great glosses. Their butter glosses are fantastic if you do want to try one. All right, I guess I'll zoom you in for my eyes. So for my eyes, I'm just gonna do mascara. Like that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything totally crazy. I do use like 3 different mascaras typically, but for drugstore, I love the L'Oreal Telescopic and the, what is this called? Clump Crusher by CoverGirl. So I like to use this combo. You obviously don't have to use 2 different mascaras, but my eyelashes aren't super impressive on their own, so they need a little bit of help. So I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Lash Curler first, just to give them a little something, a little bit of volume. I used the Revlon one forever though, so, and I heard the Tweezerman one is really good. So that's the thing, if it's not drugstore, I'm gonna give you alternatives, you know? Oh, you know what, another really good drugstore primer that I've talked about a bunch of times is the Replenishing Moisturizer by Simple. It's really good because it contains glycerin, so it makes your foundation really stick to it. And that's really good for people who are more oily because it keeps your skin like pretty matte. All right, so first I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Telescopic on my top and bottom lashes. This is a great mascara. You can use this by itself. You know what, that mascara actually worked really well on its own, so I don't think I'm gonna go in with the Clump Crusher one. Sometimes I use that just to like comb it out, just in case, because sometimes the L'Oreal Telescopic formula can be like, once it's a little bit old and it's dried out a little bit, it can get a little bit clumpy. And the CoverGirl one, the wand just like brushes out your lashes so beautifully. All right, so now to finish off the look, I'm going to set my face, and I'm actually going to be using the City Color Matte Setting Spray. So again, this isn't, you can't get this in the drugstore, but City Color is so affordable. It has a nice mister too for like a cheap one. If you're looking for something that you can get in like a Target or an Ulta, NYX, both of their setting sprays, they have matte and dewy, and I used to buy them all the time. I didn't like change my hair. Whatever, we're just gonna go with it. All right guys, that is it for this look. I hope you enjoyed. It's super simple, it's really easy. Like I said, you can tone it up, you can tone it down, or you can kind of like play it up a little bit if you have a little bit more time to get ready. Maybe pop on some like natural looking falsies, intensify your contour, your eyeshadow a little bit, maybe add a wing. You know, it's very versatile. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm uploading, because I don't have a schedule. You can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. All of that stuff is listed down below, except Facebook. I should probably list that down below. I don't think anybody cares. All right, guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.